Yo, what is up guys? UKV here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to set up your very own local AMI model. So that way you get your own interface just like this and you can type it any question you want. One of my favorites is how are you doing? And just like that, we'll get a response back. My tutorial on how to set up your first local AI stack using Docker, and the images we'll be using is Ollama and Openwebui. So first thing we're going to go ahead and do is make our project directory. I'm going to call it local-AI, and we can go ahead and cd into it. And for this video, I will be following my very own GitHub gist that I made, which I will link in the description. But if you'd like to follow along with the gist, you're more than welcome to. It has the various Docker composes for whether you are an AMD, NVIDIA, or just CPU powered. It's all up to you. It also does include a section on how to download Docker on many different operating systems, so do keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and get started. So we got our local AI folder here, it's just empty. The first thing we need to do is touch docker compose.yml. Alright, now we can go ahead and open this up, and let me just make this a little bit bigger for you. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a network. I'm going to say networks. AI-net driver bridge. All right. So what this does for us is it makes a network. So that way when we have our containers, which we're about to make, we can go ahead and attach them to the AI-net network. So that way our containers can talk to each other. If you didn't have the network, your containers wouldn't be able to talk to each other. So now we can go ahead and start defining services. Why was that so weird? Okay, services. Our first one will be Ollama, and the image is from Ollama/Ollama on latest, and the container underscore name is Ollama, and we're gonna have it restart less dash stopped. So you do want to be careful with that because this restart unless stopped will cause it to restart. Like, let's say you left this container open, shut off your computer, and then started your computer again. Pretty sure it will restart your container. So if that's an intended effect, that's great. Forget to turn it off, and then you start up your computer and it turns on, and then all of a sudden you have this, open. You know why. And then we're going to go ahead and expose some ports. Now, Ollama uses 11343. It is just what port Ollama decided it wants to use. And so we're going to map that port from inside the container to the same port for outside the container for our host machine. All right. And then finally, we're going to set up a volume. And this volume is going to be from home/projects/YouTube/local-AI, and then we're going to say Ollama, have it make an Ollama folder in our local AI folder. Now, this particular string right here is going to be representative of wherever you stored your project. So, if your project is in a different location than mine, which it most likely is, put the path to your project, local AI, or whatever you called it, and then just have it make the Ollama folder right here. And then inside the container, so we now have this colon, we're going to say root/.ollama. And what this statement right here tells us is basically it makes a bind on the Docker container So inside the Docker container at root.ollama, we're going to mount that to our project's YouTube local AI Ollama. And I can go ahead and just make the directory right now, but you don't actually need to do that. It should make it for you automatically. Now, the next thing we have to do is go ahead and add our graphics card. This is where it might look a little bit different depending on whether you are an NVIDIA or an AMD user or whether you want just CPU. If you want just CPU, we can double check here real quick, but you actually don't even need this next section that we're about to add. If you are on NVIDIA, you can copy exactly what I want, what I type. Otherwise, you can go to the AMD and it looks like it just works. You also don't have to include it as well. But I'm not on AMD, so unfortunately, I don't have a way to test that. But with that said, we can go ahead and deploy, and then resources, reservations, devices, driver, video, count, all capabilities, GPU. All right. And what this does right here is this whole long line of things basically just says, hey, my GPU, let's go ahead and let them use it. We're going to let them use all of the NVIDIA GPUs. I only have one, but that's how that works. And now, the final thing to do for this container is to go ahead and add the networks. And it's just going to be our AI-net. Alrighty. So we are now at the point where if you want to test this, you are more than welcome to. You should be able to just simply say docker compose up -d. Additional properties capabilities are not allowed. Did I spell something wrong? It did spell something wrong. Abilities, there we go. And just like that, it's been created. And so now, in order to test this, you actually have to run a command. What you guys are actually gonna have to do is docker-it or docker execute-it, and then we're gonna say Ollama for the Ollama container, and then we're actually the command we want to run inside the Ollama container is Ollama. And just like that, that's our local container. So now if I just hit the up arrow and then I say, what is it? Ollama list. I don't have anything installed. All right. So at this point, we can go ahead and say Ollama pull Mistral. And what this will do is pull Mistral. And now we can go ahead and instead of saying Ollama pull Mistral, go ahead and say Ollama run Mistral. All right, and now that it's loaded up into memory, I can go ahead and say hello. And look at that, and type back to us. And you tell my viewers to subscribe. Look at that, lightning fast, just like that. And there you go. You've done it. Take a second. Give yourself a pat on the back. You now have a fully offline local AI model that is yours and it's yours to keep. You downloaded it, you own it. Kind of. I mean, I wouldn't say you own it, but you downloaded it, it's not going away. Well, you have an AI model, but it's a little hard to use. It's stuck in a container, it's got no interface. You kind of just have to type with it. That's where Openwebui comes in. Now, to make the Openwebui container, it's just as simple as our Llama one, really. We're going to go ahead and call it Openwebui. And the image is from ghr or ghcr.io/open dash web UI/open dash web UI. Alrighty. And then we're gonna go ahead and name it, give it a restart, and also expose the port for it. So container underscore name open web UI restart less stopped and ports. And this port I believe uses 8080. Let me just double check real quick. It does use 80. Now we just go ahead and say quote 8080 to 8080. Really? Alright, so now we've mapped our ports. We're gonna go ahead and define a volume, or volumes plural, sorry. And that is going to link to our /projects /YouTube /local AI /open web UI, and then colon, and then that is going to go to /app /backend /data. So now we set up our volume, and we're going to go ahead and say this depends underscore on Ollama. And what that depends on probably does exactly what you think it does. It just makes it depend on Ollama, meaning Ollama will start first and then Openwebui will start. If something is wrong with Ollama, then Openwebui won't work. And then finally, the last thing to do is just to add it to our network. Alrighty. And so just like that, we now have Openwebui and Ollama. Now, if I go ahead and save this and then go ahead and say Docker compose down, Docker compose up, -d, and would you look at that? For you guys, it'll pull the images. I already have the images downloaded, but it did just go ahead and automatically make our folder here. As well as now, if we go to our web browser and we go to localhost 8080, we get an error. Oh, it was just still starting, I think. Yep, it was still just starting. So now it does have you like get started with it where you put in an email and a password. Um, just give it, you can do whatever you want with it really. It's all local, I believe. But just like that, we are in Ollama, or we're in Openwebui. Now, if you go to select a model, it's not going to see anything here. And that's because by default, we got to go to the settings and we have to go to connections. And so because they're in the same network, AINet and AINet, and we have it defined up here, you refer to the containers by their container name, Ollama. So it'll be Ollama colon 11434. Got our connections 434. We go to Openwebui and look at that. Mistral latest. Alrighty, and just like that, now I can go ahead and say, hello, how are you doing today? And your first chat always takes forever because it doesn't actually load up the model in your memory until you like query it for the first time. There we go. Hello, I'm just a computer program. Ta-da! And look at that, lightning fast, bro. All right, well, if you guys made it to this point in the video, thank you so much. I want you all to go ahead and like and subscribe only if you want to, as well as leave me a comment down below, man. Did it work for you? Did it not? Did it go wrong somewhere? Is my tutorial screwed up? Just let me know. All right? Y'all have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you again later.